So Jay is up. He says, started an Alpha Beta AdWords campaign for a local client, but I'm not getting any impressions so far at all. What bidding strategy do you recommend for local contractor businesses? Um, and then he's got a follow-up question. Well, first of all, if you're not getting any when it comes to bidding strategies, I don't use any bidding strategies when I start a campaign. I go manual cost per click bid, right? So it's manual, and I always do that because and 2 years ago, I would have said don't use any bidding strategies that Google offers because they weren't very good back then. At least I never got any good results with them. But now I've changed my tune on that. My opinion has changed. There's a lot of really good suggestions and automated bidding strategies that you can implement with Google. However, I don't recommend doing that until you've started to get some data into your account, which means activity, right? Impressions and clicks and that kind of stuff. Then once you have some data in your account, and I don't mean like a day's worth, but a couple of weeks worth, and it really depends on the volume of traffic or activity that you're getting into your account or your campaigns, I should say. But what I typically do is I will always do manual cost per click. And if you're not getting any impressions from that, then it means first of all, make sure your ads have been approved. I'm quite sure that you've already checked that. If they are approved and you're not getting any impressions, either your keyword targeting is really far off, but if you're using the Alpha Beta campaign structure and so essentially you're running a beta campaign right now, it shouldn't be that far off because you should only be targeting your bullseye type keywords, which are going to be just a couple of words per search query, modified broad match. And from there, that's how you start to develop your exact match search queries through your alpha, which then become your alpha campaigns. So my point is, if it's either your keyword selection is very far off, or you're not bidding high enough on your cost per click, maximum cost per click bid. And so that might be what typically that's going to be the problem. And also your quality score. But remember, your quality score is going to be very low starting off. Like a lot of the times I've seen, like I just started recently running a lot of Google ads again for one of my own businesses. I'm going to be talking about that business tomorrow, finally, on the mastermind. I've been teasing it for a month, but I'm actually going to reveal that tomorrow on during the mastermind. And so I've started running some campaigns over there, and I've been using the exact same strategy that I've taught, which is the Alpha Beta campaign structure. And with that, the keywords, if you're not bidding high enough, you're not going to get impressions. But your quality score is usually going to be low when you start off, anyways. Like it starts off typically, at least what I've seen recently, is around 5 out of 10, right? Until you start to get some traffic. And don't freak out if your quality score is low with a brand new campaign. Don't worry about it. Once you start getting some clicks, it'll start to adjust itself. Because I haven't done anything with this campaign that I set up for a new business. And like I haven't done any ad editing to improve the click-through rate yet. I've got 3 sets of ads, which I always try to split test 2 or 3 ads at a time. And I started off as a quality score of 5 out of 10 just last week. And I haven't done anything to modify it yet. And I'm already up to a quality score 7 out of 10. And it's just because I'm getting more activity through those. And it just, the algorithm or the quality score algorithm really has to kind of adjust itself based upon the activity that it's getting, if that makes sense. So again, if you're not getting any impressions at all, select manual cost per click, raise your minimum bid. And then also make sure that you're with an Alpha Beta campaign structure that you're not going too narrow with your keywords. You want to go broader and use modified broad match type, which is use the plus, and then each keyword has the plus symbol before it, or each word within the keyword phrase has the plus symbol in front of it. So do that. All right. As far as do I recommend any competitor spying or bidding tools or apps? No, I've never used any of them. Never used one of them. Honestly, that's part of the reason I love the Alpha Beta campaign structure. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, just go to Google and search Alpha Beta campaign structure or Google Ads Alpha Beta campaign structure. You'll see a PDF by Q3 Digital, I think, is the name of the publisher of that PDF. And it's a very simple campaign structure that I like. That's how I always set up my Google Ads. And that's why I don't need any competitor spying or bidding tools or apps. If you're in a really complex niche or something, then maybe, or if you're doing e-commerce and that kind of stuff, maybe. But if you're doing lead generation, I'm telling you, you don't need any of that stuff. It's just an added expense, because your alpha beta campaigns, your beta campaigns will reveal to you your best performing keywords. And by that, I mean the keywords that generate the most clicks, and ultimately the ones that generate the most conversions. Clicks isn't good enough, right? Clicks means nothing. What you want is conversions, whatever your conversion goal is. For lead generation, is typically a phone call or fill out a contact request form, right? Or if it's for a storefront business, maybe somebody that, you know, comes into the store, clicks for driving directions, or makes an appointment, something like that. And for those, like I said, what you'll find with that kind of a campaign structure is your beta campaign will identify to you, reveal to you your best performing keywords, at which point you create exact match campaigns, exact match keyword campaigns, and that's called the alpha campaigns. And what used to be what's called a single keyword ad group, that's not necessarily the case anymore, because Google won't even honor a single keyword ad group anymore. At the ads platform will actually show, even if you use an exact match type and you create a single keyword ad group, Google's still going to show your ad for what they call close variants. They didn't used to. They used to be pretty strict about it, but now they'll still show close variants. So it's okay to mix very similar exact match terms into the same ad group now. But what I love about that, guys, is, again, it's such a simple way to set up and let the data show you what the best keywords are. And then you create your alpha campaigns around those best keywords. And I learned how to do that also through, what the hell's the guy's name that wrote the Perry Marshall, the 80-20 rule. If you look, the 80-20 sales and marketing book, go get that on Amazon and read it. It's incredibly powerful, that book. And it pertains or applies to Google Ads, but it also applies to almost everything. Like, and what, 20% of your, or 80% of your results are going to come from 20% of your keywords. And in fact, it's often closer to 90% of your results come from 10% of your keywords, or 95% of your results come from 5% of your keywords. And that's absolutely the truth. And I've seen it time and again whenever I've been running lead generation campaigns using Google Ads. So that's a great question. But I'd save your money on competitor spying, bidding tools, or apps, and invest that into the campaign itself, and let that data tell you what the best keywords are to target and how to fine tune your campaigns. Anybody want to add to that?
No.
Okay.